Well, this is different, huh? Anybody else afraid? If you are, repeat after me. I must not fear. Fear is the mind killer. Fear is the little death that brings total obliteration. I will face my fear. I will permit it to pass over me and through me, and when it has gone past, I will turn the inner eye to see its path. Where the fear has gone, there will be nothing. Only I will remain. Oh, God, I gotta take this thing off. How are you holding up? I'm doing great. Today I changed my socks, ate some Jell-O, only to realize that my kid had spilled much of it onto the floor and replaced it back into the bowl, so it had some added nutritional value. Before I go on, anybody get one of these? Huh, look at that. I need one of those in my life. It won't help fight climate change, but it will make you feel like you're playing Battlezone while you drive past the burning California landscape. If Elon Musk wanted to tackle meaningful carbon drawdown, he should have invested in a better refrigerator, more popular and effective forms of contraception, plant-based meats. Better luck next time, California tech entrepreneurs. I'm sorry I haven't made a video in a while. I was depressed after the ending of the farce that was the Trump impeachment. No, not really. But man, what a show. And by that I mean boring and predictable. The same old political actors saying the same old lines while the nation watches on, like it's a really boring reality TV show where instead of the people in the show whose livelihood is at stake, it's everyone who's watching. Speaking of Donald Trump, he sent me this note. President Trump's coronavirus guidelines for America. I'm going to read this to you now. Listen and follow the directions of your state and local authorities. State and local authorities is bolded. I'm glad he's reminding us to listen. It's important to be good listeners, especially in difficult times. If you feel sick, I'm just going to say the bold lines right up against the microphone. If you feel sick, stay at home. Do not go to work. That is good advice in general. If your children are sick, keep them at home. Contact your medical provider. If you don't usually do this, maybe you're not a very good parent. If you are an older person or have a serious underlying health condition, stay home and away from other people. If someone in your home has tested positive, keep the entire household at home. Even if you are young or otherwise healthy, you are at risk and your activities can increase the risk for others. It is critical that you do your part to slow the spread of coronavirus. Man, I bet he wishes he could send this back in time to before spring break. The coronavirus? Hang on, there's another column. Work or study from home whenever possible. I do that. Avoid social gatherings in groups of more than 10 people. No, seriously, I do this. Avoid eating or drinking at bars and restaurants. Use pickup or delivery options. Yeah, this is getting a little creepy. Avoid discretionary travel. Shopping trips and social visits. Yeah, I love discretionary travel and shopping trips. How else would I get those amazing fried chicken feet in El Largo? Do not visit nursing homes or retirement or long-term care facilities unless to provide critical assistance. Nobody visits those poor old people anyway. Then there's a whole italics section about washing your hands. I don't know why it's in italics. The dumbest thing about this postcard is the name of the website, coronavirus.gov. Naming the website after the thing we're all scared of maybe seems like a bad move. Kind of like naming a website for refugees, war.gov. Thanks, Trump. Thanks for making the effort. In these strange times, I've become really grateful that I didn't cotton to that anatomy class in community college. To all the people in the medical profession right now, for taking care of all of us filthy, grimy humans and puppets. Thank you. Yeah. The things you do are clearly important, unlike most of the rest of us. Also, I feel it's important to acknowledge the sick and the dying. There, but for the grace of God go we, yeah? I'm not sick yet. Are you? Also worried about people, especially kids, stuck at home with damaged, abusive people or parents. No one warned you about this, and you probably weren't prepared. There are people you can call, institutions you can reach out to. Please do. Good luck. I was looking for someone to interview about the virus. I don't really talk to anybody but my mom. She's doing a lot of gardening, turns out. Like a lot. Again, I don't know that many people, and because I'm a puppet, I decided to interview my fairy friend Buzzbum. Buzzbum, yeah, hey, what's up?
Oi, Pufferman, you see him?
How is it up there, Buzzbum, in Fairyland? I mean, Canada. What do you all think of the virus? How has it impacted fairy kind?
The virus. No, I don't know what you mean by that.
Mm.
You
Yeah.
know the COVID-16. You said COVID.
No, COVID-19, the novel coronavirus.
That bird choir.
No, I wasn't talking about a bird choir. Did you hear him?
You know, the COVID-16.
Good stuff.
Good stuff, ain't it? They're beautiful, like angels. Anyway, what are you on about this virus then?
Okay, well, yeah, so humans have a new virus. It's killing a lot of us, but not all of us. Just,
Oi, it's not the humans that come around for us no more.
yeah, and we're all isolating ourselves and quarantining inside, stuff
We
like that.
fairies been celebrating out in Paris these days.
Yeah,
And
thanks.
Little human for miles. I mean, it's terrible. Sounds awful.
Thanks for your sympathies, Buzzbum. Do you, as a nature spirit, know much about the about viruses and where they come from?
We don't viruses get just fairy.
Oh well, yeah, that's too bad. Well, any comments on the impact on fairy kind?
That was great.
Oh,
Yeah, great. No, really. I mean, too bad. Some people died and I mean,
see.
it's terrible. But, like, really, it's like the trees can breathe again. So nice out here.
I see.
Going on walks, I've seen humans for miles. It's great.
That's kind of insensitive, Buzzbum, but whatever. Show now. Thanks for coming by. Truly, this virus has acted like a mystical mirror in a white savior fantasy where you look at it and it shows you some kind of truth about yourself or your environment. Schools were really magical free daycare centers that feed your children and provide them with upstanding, if tired, role models, protecting you and your children from each other for a good chunk of the workaday week. Like, what really is the point of a mall? They're just kind of giant, awkward social gatherings. Why do they have to be filled with all that boring crap? Why not fill the rest of the space with like laser tag and escape rooms and weird bars? Cops are largely there to intimidate us and pester the homeless. VR porn is amazing, but then you realize that the best VR is in your head. Hospital workers are angels. I have never looked at various members of the medical profession and thought, well, I could certainly see myself doing that. I might enjoy that little bit there where you cleaned off the needle and then gave it to the other person who then stuck it in my arm. When the chips are down, it turns out all we really need are rice, beans, and toiletries. At the end of all this, I'm sure we'll emerge stinky and decrepit from our wilting abodes, teeth falling out from scurvy, but better people, more in touch with ourselves and our core values. Probably not. Some of us are really discovering how much alcohol and drugs our nervous system can take before serious depression sets in. We're also seeing how resilient, or not, this bizarre worldwide free market experiment is not very resilient. We're the secret glue that holds the board together so they can play their little game of Monopoly. Some of us are really getting into working from home for the first time, or better yet, not working at all. Anybody notice the recent traffic fatality statistics? There's a lot of self-congratulatory nonsense going around about how it's okay to be unproductive. Look, don't lie. It isn't. I suffer from chronic depression, and I had to pay someone $200 an hour to tell me it was okay to be depressed and unproductive. So don't go telling people lies about it now. You'll put those poor psychiatrists out of a job. And those of you wondering, yes, this is what depression is like. Being unable to do anything and feeling really about it. What I think is happening is a lot of people are really slowing down for the first time in their lives and feeling their emotions. This is something that is not normal for us to do for some reason. Any system of oppression depends on the oppressed repressing their own emotions voluntarily. Being busy is one of the most difficult addictions to kick, but Zen monks can chill out and do nothing for a while. Why is it so hard for us to? The thing we're really seeing is what we value as people and as a culture. Some of us really value memes, and that's wholesome and good. Some people value others' approval and their attention. Some of us truly value love and connection and are finding new ways to define that and explore that. Some folks have shown that what they really value is their own freedom, however they define that. It seems like a lot of people value money, which seems redundant. Endless, unsustainable growth is not really an inspiring thing to wrap your whole civilization around. In order to maintain endless, unsustainable growth, you need to convince everybody that they need to work real hard, to the exception of their feelings on the matter, in order to survive. You need to generally ignore collateral damage, like the mentally ill and destitute, disenfranchised, marginalized people. And when the boat starts sinking, you just throw a bunch of money at it, because as long as it's still worth something, it's still worth keeping afloat, right? Start the economy back up, they say. Let's get everybody back to work so they can start going back to the hairdressers and buying pointless brand names and various useless. Overpopulation is not the problem. The problem is everyone trying to live like a nuclear family in Dallas, Texas. This stupid model is not only widely opulent and unsustainable when iterated across the entire human population, it's actually torturous and insane to the people who are trying to participate in it. They're disconnected from each other and their own emotions. We shouldn't have to participate in this vampiric racist housing market just to have shelter. We shouldn't have to serve some vaguely useless function at some pointless company just to eat. In this time of automation, economic uncertainty, and environmental disaster, then lying around doing nothing should be one of the best paying jobs on the market. I literally just heard on the news that U.S. officials are trying to decide whether they should save lives or save the economy. How is this even a question? Just pay people to chill out and do the right thing. There's enough money everywhere for this. We've made all the money we need to. The economy. It is not a person. It is not a collection of people. It's just the sum of all our money. Are we so lacking in imagination that we can't figure a way forward, even though there's enough resources and space for everyone? Now that we have a chance to reflect on what is essential and what isn't, what is valuable and what isn't, what is wasteful and destructive and what isn't, it's a long time we make some hard decisions about what to continue and what not as custodians of our world and each other. Stop, take a long critical look at ourselves and start standing up for something important like life, not endless unsustainable growth. For those of you thinking about like meditating all day or using serious psychedelic drugs, possibly for the first time, to foster some sort of inner journey of self-discovery, I have some important advice for you. Do it.